Today, 14th of October 2025, is the day that Windows 10 will be unsupported. There is one extra year of support, but it will be after payment. So the solution: switch to Linux. Using Rufus, a software to write ISO image on USB stick, pick your preferred Linux distro and write it on a USB stick. Then go into the BIOS and boot from USB drive. Save and exit. You will boot into the Linux installation media. Try to install PopOS. I found PopOS to be the best Linux distribution if you have a system with NVIDIA graphics card like this gaming laptop. I always used the PopOS back in the day. Then they stopped making new versions because they were working on Cosmic Desktop environment, not based on GNOME anymore, but something different. And now this is the 24.04 beta of PopOS, the first almost stable version that will give us the new Cosmic Desktop environment in beta version. Otherwise, Linux Mint 22.2 is a very good Linux distro at the time of recording. We will see it is still booting the system, the live system. On Linux, we have this live mode that will enable you to test the system. If you like it, then you will install it on the hard disk. It is starting the network service, but I will have to connect to Wi-Fi later to download the updates during the installation to the system. Here it is almost ready. This Linux version called PopOS has a layout more similar to Mac, but if you want more similar to Windows, there is Linux Mint. Here, various applications. You have LibreOffice, Thunderbird for the email, Document Scanner to also see the PDF viewer. Vim is a test editor, GNOME Disk to set up disk partition. We install the system. I will select English language. In this way, everybody will understand. US keyboard layout. Clean install, erase everything and install PopOS. Select RY SSD, M.2 SSD. I also put a 500GB SSD SATA 3 to install GTA 5, so I can dual boot Linux and Linux or Windows and Windows. Here it will ask you the username and the password. See you later. If you want, you can encrypt the drive. In this way you will have two passwords for security. If it is a real-life machine, you should use it. This is only a demonstration, so I won't encrypt, but I suggest you to do it if that is your main computer, main machine. And here you have Firefox. You also have the graphical text editor called Cosmic Text Editor. The terminal, you can use it to install application. But on this version of Linux and many others, like for example Ubuntu and Linux Mint, there is also a graphical store to install the application like Android or iOS. Of course, now I am not connected to the internet and the software store won't work, but later it will, after the installation has been successful. Here it gave us some default application that it has saved as default, like OBS Studio video recording on Linux, the same as Windows. It will use your graphics card acceleration. For example, we are on NVIDIA system, so it will use NVIDIA CUDA cores H264 and HEVC video graphic acceleration. Now we will restart the system without the USB stick and it will boot into Linux. This is the USB stick. As you can see, it is booting our Linux version. It says no NVIDIA found, but we have NVIDIA. After connecting to the Wi-Fi, it will ask us again for confirmation the language and the keyboard. Here, the appearance of the desktop. We can change it. Keyboard shortcut. As you can see here, I have NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050. This is Intel i5 8th Gen. And now you have a fully working free Linux system with Office applications like LibreOffice, email client Thunderbird, web browser Firefox, document viewer for viewing PDF files, and the graphical text editor Gedit, and also the PopOS software store. Now that I have internet connectivity, it will work. It will load the applications.